Operation Digital Pioneer Mission 6, Media Buying and Planning. Finally, we get to the good stuff. This is an extremely advanced lesson. Mission 6 is extremely advanced. We talk about advanced digital media buying and planning. The minimum budget for any media planning, digital marketing, media planning campaigns, multiple campaigns, the minimum budget is about £125,000 for the UK or $125,000 for the US per month. Yeah, why do I say minimum budget? Frankly, with less than £125,000, you're not going to get a full spectrum analysis of your digital marketing campaigns. You can only test maybe 10 campaigns, maybe 8 campaigns, really good campaigns, and a test will only last a few weeks. At £10,000 or £15,000 a test for a campaign, it might last a week and a half, and then you'll blow through your whole budget as soon as you find something successful, and that means that you won't be testing the other campaigns anymore. So realistically, getting to Mission 6, media planning and buying, you have two choices. You can focus on low budget, high quality content because you don't have a lot of money. In that case, you should really put your money towards high quality content, because that way you can attract organic traffic to your company with a lot less than £125,000 a month. You still need a media budget. You can't do very much without at least £25,000 a month. But £25,000 a month of media budget with, say, £50,000 a month of content development is an extraordinarily powerful media planning campaign. So let me give you the difference between one and the other. On one side, when you don't have a lot of money, let's say you only have £75,000 a month to spend on your marketing, which is a lot of money to a small company. But what is that going to deliver to you? It's going to deliver a huge amount of sales, a huge amount of impressions, a huge amount of clicks, and a huge amount of sales. But the only way to do that is to spend most of that budget on developing video content. Video content meaning a 3-minute video with like this one that I'm making right now, with just screen share, a webcam, 3 minutes long. You just answer one question that your consumers might have. Let me give you a good example. On SEMrush, here we go. There we go. So this is one of my clients that does photography services. For the keyword is photography services. Now, I want to get, for example, I want to get anyone who types in how to write a contract for photography services. Let's assume that anyone who wants to write a contract for photography services is not a photographer, but a client, a consumer. That means that I can get 90 searches a month, 90 impressions a month to see my videos on how to write a contract for photography services and convince them to send me that contract or my client that contract. And a photography service contract could be worth at least $15,000 in the US. So that's a lot of money. I mean, there's a lot of profit margins. That means that there's a lot of margins to invest in that particular keyword, especially if the content that we create is valid for many, many years, possibly decades. Then any amount of money we put into that keyword is gonna return to us a very high positive return on investment. So we can spend a couple of days making a 3 to 35-minute video, maybe an hour-long video on how to write the perfect contract for photography services. Every month we'll get 90 impressions. We'll probably get 50 video views every month. That's 600 a year, 6,000 per decade. And out of those 6,000 over the course of a decade, 6,000 video views, we could probably expect 60 to 600, 1% to 10%, 60 to 600 people will call us and ask us to deliver their photography services. So let's just say, for argument's sake, that we only get 60. That's 60 times $15,000. That's a huge amount of money in terms of revenue. I won't even know how much that is. Thinking out loud, it's about $90,000 There's 90,000. There's 900,000. $900,000 in revenue delivered over the course of 10 years, and that's the 1% conversion rate. 900 grand. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of revenue over 10 years for one keyword. Just one keyword, delivering 1% conversion rate. Well, that's exciting. That's media buying. Now, the question is, that's media planning, excuse me. That's media planning. The question is, how do I get my video, that amazing video that I made, onto page 1 of Google? There are 2 ways. One, I can get it on, well, there's a lot of ways. Google Video, allow me to show you. Google Video is very, very profitable. So let's do e-commerce. Oops. Yeah, there it is. E-commerce audit course. There we go. So this is my one of my major keywords is the e-commerce audit course. As you can see, I'm in position 1 and I have my 5-star reviews because I use structured data. I'm also in position 2. Great, everything's working. But where are my videos? See, I want videos for my particular keyword. So when you click on the videos tab, there I am in position 1, position 2, position 3. Wait for it. Just position 1, 2, and 3, and then I have position whatever that is, there again, there again. As you can see, my videos are littering the entire front page of Google for videos. Most of these are mine. All of these where you see my name, search titans, search titans, search titans, search titans, those are mine. Search titans, search titans, search titans, search titans. As you can see, I have more than 10 listings on page 1 of Google Videos because nobody else has made any videos with those 3 keywords in it. That's what I call success. And that is how I get the maximum value from a very small amount of searches per month, but for a very high revenue. This is a better use of my media budget. By producing dozens and dozens of videos at 1 or 2 minutes long about one specific keyword, I dominate page 1. And that doesn't cost anything from an SEO perspective. Then there's the other way of doing it, which is paying YouTube and the display network to publish my videos, the ones that have good calls to action, and getting that organic traffic to come in bulk over a very long period. Now, that's what I do when I don't have a very large media budget, because I have no choice. I need organic traffic, and I use a very small media budget to promote my videos, which I spend a lot of time and money investing in making videos. Video SEO, video display, video search engine marketing, video affiliate marketing, video strategic partnerships, video. That's when you don't have a lot of money. Now, if you do have a very, very, very large budget, you have less excuses to do videos than when you don't have a large budget. The more money you invest in your media budget, media plan, like for example, now we're going to take videos, we're going to make the same quality videos, better, a little bit better, more, much more abundant. This time we can make videos for each of the social media networks, including LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. There's so many different options for organic search that you can go nuts before ever spending $1 on media. But when you have a huge budget, let's say that, because I've had budgets up to $40 million over the course of 8 months. I had to spend $40 million on media in 8 months in order to maximize the scalability of the business. And we generated $78 million in revenue from $40 million budgets. We used every technique that we could, always involving videos, because that's the richest kind of content that you can provide. You can get a message out there, you can sell, you can buy, you can do whatever you want in a video. You can entertain, you can make them laugh, you can make them cry, but you'll make them understand that they should buy your products or services in the video faster than any image can ever achieve. Any image or text can ever achieve. Podcast is only audio. Video is audio visual, and you can do anything. And it's the best way to promote your business. Fine. Let's move on from video. Let's talk about media buying. Well, Media buying is more about risk assessment than anything else. Whoops, I forgot to, there it is. Is this okay? There it is. So media buying is more about risk assessment than anything else. For the last 5 missions, we've learned all of the calls to action that work best for us. We've learned about all the banners and the videos that work really good for us. We've optimized our website for SEO. Everything's ready and ripe for the picking. And now we need to push the website. We need to push those campaigns to the maximum of their ability. We need to achieve 100% impression share. Do you know what that is? Impression share means that there's only so many people typing in a specific keyword. 90 people, for example, from that keyword that we just saw. That's, in order for us to get 100% of those 90 people to see our ads, means that we're getting 100% impression share. And that's how you scale the business on successful campaigns. This reduces your risk just tremendously. Because instead of trying to think about some new way of getting traffic, you're using an old way, but you're increasing your share of the market, your share of the, you're increasing the pie, the piece of the pie that you're getting from the campaign. So before you start investing in CNN and in new platforms that you haven't tested yet on a smaller scale, you're going to expand the existing campaigns that we've been discussing, and you're going to be doing media buying, where you're going to buy 10 to 15,000 pound campaigns, test campaigns, with advertising that you already know works. And that's where we begin in Mission 6. There's so much to do. There's so much scaling to do now that we know that everything works well. Now we need to increase the budget exponentially until we can't spend any more money on the keywords that already work for us. Is that even a thing? It's totally a thing. Watch, let me show you something cool. So, you see this? There's 137 keywords, meaning that there's 137 questions relating to photography services, and I haven't answered them all. So before I can start looking for new sources of keywords, I need to ask and answer every single question in this list with video, text, with any kind of social media interaction, SEO, and then I need to push as much media budget into Google Ads, Bing, Yahoo Gemini, I think it's called. Yahoo Gemini has a native advertising platform, which is very little known. It's very effective. Any website that asks these questions, you can advertise on those websites through Yahoo Gemini. That's really exciting, because that way you could push your advertising on pages that are not even yours, and you can get clicks from those pages, from Google, from Yahoo, from Bing, and now you're really creating a much wider net. You're getting a much larger portion of the pie. But that's also on a cost per click basis. Are you purchasing 100% of the impressions on SEO, on SEM, search engine marketing, on native links, native content inclusions with Yahoo Gemini? Are you doing that right now? Because those are the most profitable campaigns. Are you maximizing your remarketing campaigns? Because this is really where we talk about remarketing, is in Mission 6. Because now you have excellent customers. You've been getting them for over 15 months. Now's the time to maximize your remarketing campaigns, to make sure that you maximize your existing client base. Let's talk about CRM now. Let's talk about investing in email marketing. Let's talk about strategic partnerships with magazines that deal with your industry. Make sure you get all the magazines, all the newspapers to list your content. But that means that we need to create content, and we need to ask these questions and make sure that we achieve 100% market share for all of these points. Because, so now we're going to talk about media publishers for the media planning and buying. These are French websites, so that it's really clear that I'm talking about a global campaign. Le Figaro is the equivalent to, I guess, the New York Times for Paris. It's one of the best financial news reporting websites and platforms in all of France. They're also avid media planners and avid media sellers. They have a great platform, and they sell all different kinds of fantastic advertising. So this is Le Figaro, but this is another one of their properties. Journaldesfemmes.fr. What does that mean? That's the URL of the website. It's Journal des Femmes means Journal of Women, so Women's Journal.fr. And as you can see, they sell the top banner along with the wallpaper. And the wallpaper is clickable, so that makes it extremely profitable for anyone who chooses to advertise with Le Figaro. They have this huge space. This is one really good example of media buying. You can't get that kind of advertising for a couple of dollars. You have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, or at least tens of thousands of dollars, to get the most out of that particular advertising. You also need brand awareness. It's not designed for everyone. It's designed for people who go national or global, because they can make a lot of money, a lot of clicks, buying that particular type of ads. It's not the only type of ad. There are many others as well. There's inside the content, there's these little pop-ups that are super annoying, but those pop-ups actually do get a high click-through rate. The only way to find out whether or not it works for your company is to test them out, to see what your click-through rate is, on which banners, and all of that really comes into play. Another good example of the same company, which is Le Figaro, is Journal du Net. That's Journal of the Web, like Journal of the Internet.com in French. And so this is the same, as you can see, it's the same banner in the background, probably because it's remarketing me. But the whole idea is that you can get your ads in the right place at the right time to the right consumers, whether it be women, whether it be financial experts, or whether it be tech-savvy entrepreneurs. You have your demographics usually on these really, really big platforms, and that's what we're going to be discussing in Mission 6. We're going to be discussing where to test your media budget. So let's say that the board of directors approves a £500,000 of test budget over the next quarter. That's great. I guess it's about £165,000 per month to test out all of these different kinds of campaigns. But before we test anything out, we need to see what's been working for the last 15 months. And that's where missions 1 through 5 really come together for us, because now we know what our best conversion rates are, where they come from, how it works. We know what kind of calls to action work best on our favorite consumers. What do you mean favorite consumers? Like, you play favorites or something? Yes, we play favorites, especially in media buying. In media buying, you're spending a ton of money in order to get one customer at a time to come and purchase from you. This is not a billion customers coming to you and buying. No. It's a billion impressions. These people have no inclination to know you, like you, or purchase from you. That means that your creatives, your videos and your creatives and your messaging, your calls to action, needs to be so good that you're overcoming the annoyance that your ads represents. You're overcoming that, and you're giving them a chance to come to you and purchase from you and become one of your customers. That's not the same thing as going to do SEO or SEM, where the customer is looking for your product and he's ready to buy already. So it's a different conversation altogether. Now we need to do proactive marketing, which means first we need to introduce ourselves. We need to explain why we're the best. We need to explain that we have competitors, but they're not good compared to us. And we need to explain that we're the best price and that we're profitable and beneficial to you, the consumer. That's critical. That's what I'm doing right now. In this video, I'm explaining how beneficial my course is to you, because I have no choice. You don't know who I am. I'm doing proactive marketing. Now that you know all of the things that you're about to learn throughout this course, now you can make an informed decision, and now you can look for my competitors. And when you see that none of my competitors offer any of these things in any particularly advanced way, then you're going to come back to me and say, wow, you really do have a fantastic product, Dave. Thank you. But it's not just me. I have lots of other colleagues at Search Titans. We have 20 years of experience each, and we bring all of that information to our clients, to our students, directly to them for their companies. We even produce the media plans for our students. Not all of them, not the whole media plan, just the first couple of lines. We'll introduce you to our favorite publishers. We'll get you set up with publishers that we have deals with already because we've already had success with them. And so we'll introduce you to those campaigns, and then you'll be able to test out safe campaigns that we've already tested and run, and that will really, really help the company make large, long strides in their digital media strategy and in their media buying and planning success rates. You're going to have failures. You're going to have a lot of failures, which is why we call them a test budget. Out of 500,000 pounds, will you lose all of the 500,000? No. You're going to lose 200,000 on campaigns that just don't work. But then the other 300,000, 60%, that's going to work so well that it'll cover the loss of the 200,000 pounds that you lost on the campaigns that delivered nothing. And that's what's really critical about media buying and planning is risk assessment and testing. Once you've tested and you know it doesn't work, put an X on it, blacklist it, never try it again. Unless you know what went wrong and you're very confident that when you fix it, it'll deliver a high profit margin, you put it on the blacklist. You make sure everybody knows, let's not do this again for this company, and then you move on and you test something else and something else and something else. Eventually you're going to get to the point where you know exactly what works best for your company, and you'll be able to increase your budget within those campaigns. Even if you find one campaign out of 100, you might actually be able to spend 5 million pounds a month or more on just one campaign that will deliver you a huge amount of profit margin. Which one is that? I don't know. We haven't tested anything yet. Well, you haven't. I have. I've tested loads. But for different companies and for different services. And what works for one service may not work for another. So I'll share with you and the students and the companies all of the techniques that I already know works for which industry, and then you can make your decisions from there. Right. That's media buying and planning. So what's in Mission 7 exactly? Mission 7 happens 6 months after Mission 6. Yeah, there's no quick way to do media planning, but you have to do 3 months worth of testing. And then you have to do 1 month worth of testing. Usually that comes with 2 months worth of reporting, analysis, restructuring the campaigns, restructuring the creatives. Sometimes it could take much more than 2 or 3 months before you're ready to relaunch a test campaign or to continue a successful campaign. Just because a campaign is successful doesn't mean you should continue it right now. It means that now that you know it works, you probably have to modify, optimize it in order to make it work super, super good. Then you need to increase the scale of the campaign, which might not be available. What do you mean, not be available? Don't they want my money? This is a question that I've asked myself, actually. Sometimes you talk to a publisher and you say, hey, I want that background image. And they say no. Like, what do you mean no? I have $5 million. I can do whatever I want. No, we've already sold that to Aldi. Oh, no. So now you have to go into a bidding war. But it might not work like that. Not with major media buying campaigns, because these other Aldi, the company Aldi must have a deal with Le Figaro that sets them up for months in advance. And that means that they probably already purchased the impressions that are going to come for the next 3 months, which means that you're not going to be able to buy that particular campaign that works for you very well. You're not going to be able to buy it again until 3 months from now, which means you probably need to negotiate with the publisher or find other sources of media. All of these things come into play, and that's why we have a very structured approach to media buying within Search Titans, and we teach our students how to structure that approach, how to do risk management, risk assessment, and last but certainly not least, how to make sure that we can scale those marketing campaigns once we know that they're perfect. If we find out that a campaign is great and suddenly we can't get any more of it, you just wasted everybody's time and you're going to get in big trouble. We don't want to do that. So before we test a campaign, can we scale it later? Well, why don't you test it first? No. How much traffic can I get from your company? Okay, well, it turns out we only have this much left. Well, then I don't want to work with you. That's a good example. So risk assessment, management, planning, we want traffic for the next 10 years from publishers where we have a great success story with. That's really important. And once you have a success story with a limited availability of impressions, that's where things get really serious. That's where you have to start negotiating. That's where you have to buy all of the inventory of impressions that you can while you still can, as far in advance as you can. That's where the board of directors comes in, because they're going to need to make a $50 million judgment call. They're going to need to spend $50 million over 3 years on this one successful campaign, and they're going to need to commit to that in order for the publisher to guarantee that they have the maximum scalability for their business. That's advanced media planning. And that's what you're going to learn in Mission 6. So what's Mission 7 again? Mission 7 is about utilizing everything we've learned and all the media planning campaigns, restructuring the digital marketing strategy based exclusively on what works, and what doesn't work, ignoring it or cutting it out, and then focusing on the next 5 years ahead. That's what Mission 7 is all about. But we'll talk about that during Mission 7. Mission 6 is about media planning, risk assessment, and scalability. See you in Mission 7.